Bob Marley, the King of Wales. Bob Marley's full name is Robert Nesta Marley, born on February 6, 1945, in the community of 9 Miles. His neighborhood was full of poverty and despair, but Bob Marley made the most of it. In the western kingdom of Trenchtown, Bob Marley earned the nickname Tough Gong, fighting in the rough streets of his neighborhood. Bob Marley immortalized his home with songs such as No Woman No Cry, Trenchtown Rock, and Trenchtown. In the early 1960s, Jamaica had ska, its signature type of music, which was a form of reggae. When he was 14, he met a music producer, Leslie Kong. Kong cut Marley's first singles, and when they did not sell, he paid Marley a mere $20. Bob told him his music would make money one day, and Kong would not enjoy it. At age 37, Kong released an album for Marley without his consent and died of a heart attack. 1963, Bob Marley and his friend Neville Livingston, aka Bunny Wailer, went to vocal lessons by Joe Higgs. They were introduced to Peter Tosh and they formed the Wailing Wailers. Bob Marley, Bunny, and Peter were introduced to Clement and Sir Coxsone Dodd, a sound system operator. He produced their music, and they got a local following group. The first single was "Simmer Down," which sold over 80,000 copies. The Wailers produced a few more hits for Coxsone: "Rude Boy," "I'm Still Waiting," and the early version of "One Love," which would designate as the song of the century 35 years later. The first Wailers album featured in the United Kingdom was "Soul Rebel" in 1970s. 1971, Marley and Kong Nash collaborated on a film score. By 1972, the Wailers were in London singing reggae on Broadway. CBS didn't have faith in Bob Marley and left them. Marley visited Chris M. Blackwell and recorded an album with him to get £4,000, which was an unheard of amount for Jamaican acts. Bob Marley was living life. For Chris, Marley was the rock rebel artist needed to replace Jimmy Cliff. They released their album, Catch a Fire, in April 1973 with international media attention. After touring with Sly and the Family Stone, Marley released another album called Burning in 1973. This made Marley very popular. The year Marley released Get Up, Stand Up and I Shot the Sheriff was the year that Peter Tosh and Bunny Wailer left the group. Marley visited Africa in 1978. He visited Kenya and Ethiopia. He also toured Japan, Europe, America, and Australia, also New Zealand, where the natives greeted him with a greeting ceremony. After learning he had cancer in his big toe from a soccer injury, Marley held his last performance in Pittsburgh in 1981. Bob Marley lost his fight to cancer in a Miami hospital on May 11, 1981. Bob Marley was awarded the Order of Merit in April 1981. Bob's funeral was held 10 days after his death. Hundreds of thousands of people attended, including Prime Minister Edward Sega. Bob Marley to this day is listened to greatly. We all like his music and his message of peace and love. This man may have died, but he will be remembered forever.